So yeah, what do you think about why we have been doing so well over the last few years with the pursuit of organic growth?
Well, true, true. I would say that first of all, actually, you know that Indonesia, uh, that's one of the biggest countries in Southeast Asia, and have over 10,000 islands. Every single island, actually, the situation is very, very different. So I would not position ourselves as making no progress at all in this specific area. But what I can say is that actually we are gradually building the foundation. So that's something I fundamentally believe that Indonesia is the place to be for our company, but we need to be patient.
Okay, so yeah, I totally agree. The environments over Indonesia is quite diverse. We have so many islands, a mixture of different cultures and backgrounds of peoples, right? So, okay, I can share you with a bit about the strategy, at least from high level perspective. People want to move the things faster because they believe what we are doing now is not fast enough. Okay. So that's why last time when I talked to you, we was trying to pursue a kind of organic growth. And the reason behind that, I think a few reasons I can share with you. One is because we believe that the supply chain and distribution channels is quite complex.
Okay.
And if we need to build this kind of structure by ourselves, it's going to be very tedious and time consuming.
Yes.
So if we can try to do this inorganic growth by acquisition, can expedite the process of the expansion in terms of the networks and the distribution channel. And additionally, we have very limited time. So the company do not want to, at least from what I understand from very high level of management, they want us to move the things even faster. And due to the complex of the environments, one is the corruption is widespread. I think you are quite aware of the government industrial period achieve the maximum kind of result. So if we can collaborate with someone, then and it probably can help gain lots of second reasons. And next reason is from the strategic point of view. Companies carrying in Indonesia within the same industry are grossly undervalued.
Okay.
So if we can just go to buy some of them, and over some years from now, when the value actually go back to normal, we believe that we can get some of the value out from the markets. So I think these are pretty much the reasons why and my teams are drafting, and we believe this sounds a bit convincing to pursue an inorganic kind of growth. What do you think about it?
Well, yes and no. Well, definitely I agree that the supply chain and distribution to build up from zero is really, really time consuming. And if we have a good target to acquire or a joint venture, that to some degree, theoretically speaking, is a very good idea. But you know that the culture is so different in the local area, and if we want to really to have those kind of joint venture or acquire those targets, I would say purchase them or acquire those kind of company is one thing. But how to properly manage the post-merger integration, that's something, from my personal opinion, it would bring more headaches to us. So, well, and I also agree with you that, well, you know that I worked in this company for many, many years. I do like this company. And you are my boss. I don't want to hide from you. I to share with you is that actually my now in living in Jakarta and the past several years, actually basically I can only meet them during the weekend. My kids just in the end, I would say that those kind of PMI risk is purely from my personal observation based on my past 10, 12 years experience. That's my observation, or to me it's a risk that I would like to share with you transparently. But in the end, definitely I'm just a middle level, and I need to admire the company decision. But if we go to the acquisition approach, I would like to contribute more in this kind of a process.
Okay.
Actually, I have some small requests if that's okay.
Sure.
The first thing, I want more time to stay with my family. So if I can be relocated to Jakarta, that would be super good.
Okay.
Because I would say sometimes in the past, just because of this kind of distance issue, we had a lot of quarrels.
Okay, yep. Understood.
I was exhausted. So this is one thing.
Yep.
The second thing is actually you mentioned acquire another company, actually to some degree would financially improve our company's overall, let's say, the market performance in the future.
Yep.
And I do believe that if we go with this acquisition, and I really want to make the benefit bigger. Okay. So I think if our company acquire some kind of a target, I would like to get onto the ground to monitor and basically to lead the local team there and make sure that the company's money doesn't pay in vain. I want because I know the local culture, I know the local people, so that it's better for me to handle all those dirty work, execution work. I think that's the second thing. Well, the third thing, I was a little bit hesitated, but really, I think based on my past working experience, really deserve a salary increase. So my sincere hope is that if a company could seriously consider a 20% increase, then I would be super appreciated. But definitely, I don't want to make your life difficult. I just don't want to share my real feeling about this.
Yep, okay. I think, so some of your open of the conversation, I think is really appreciable. So in the sense, so from what I understand now is, I think there's lots of space we can collaborate and capture the values over there. I want to share with you the reason I want to have this conversation is the next day I'm going to have a meeting with CEO. Yes. So we need to present our strategy to CEO. Yes. So I think CEO, because you are quite senior people and know about the market very well. So I think CEO will value your opinions very well. So therefore, that's why I want to have this consolidated meeting with you before we go to the meeting with CEO. Yes. So I think the first thing I want to push is for the inorganic growth. So if it's feasible, I think I can let you to in charge about the operations in Jakarta. So I will send you to stay and represent me to run the operations in Jakarta. That's definitely okay. So I think it's meet your requirements in the first one, to meet with your family and stay in Jakarta. Yes, to run the ground workings and monitor the operation there closely. So that's definitely okay. But provided you can support the strategy rollout to have inorganic growth, because that's our strategy plan, right? Yes. So the second one is, I think you also fulfill your second one. You want to monitor the operation there closely. I think that's okay. Salary-wise, well, I think, how about like 10%? Because due to the budget constraints, we cannot give like 20% immediately, but we can agree that if the performance in the groundwork actually goes well, we can increase to, we have another 10% increase next year.
Okay, I agree that it's a fair point, because you know that because Joanna, you know that you just come to the company several months, not very long, but definitely you are more than welcome to, for example, to cross-check my colleagues. You know that I'm a very disciplined person, and everything I committed, I definitely want to make it happen without any exception. That's so, yes, I think it's a fair statement that we can put 10% increase, and then based on project progress in the end.
Yeah.
Put my salary increase directly linked with the lending project agreement. I'm totally fine with that. So actually, specifically for that part, specifically for the tomorrow meeting, I would say that definitely the thing you mentioned is correct. If the company really wants to make a faster move, the acquisition is a good idea. And I think in a later phase, if the CEO agreed with that approach, I can also help with you to conduct those kind of due diligence with those potential acquisition
That's
targets.
great.
I cannot provide financial advice, but definitely from the technical standpoint and organization standpoint, I can help you to identify which acquisition target is better.
Okay.
And I truly believe that once that part is done, and then when we move to the execution phase, I really could make more contribution in terms of really achieve execution excellence. So that part, well, I would say proudly that you can definitely count on me.
Okay, that sounds great. So I think we have a very clear agreements now, right? So I think the first thing is we agree that we can go with inorganic growth by acquire some of the local companies, merge with them, and to expand our operation there. And tomorrow we are going to present to our CEO. I think you can go along with me, right?
You can go ahead with the top line presentation. If CEO have concerns, then I can support you.
Okay, that sounds great. So you support this this approach, and let's talk to the CEO and let the CEO to decide. Once we decide with this inorganic kind of approach, I'm going to send you to Jakarta to in charge of the operations.
Okay.
And you're going to represent me, at least to run the operation for the time being, and oversee all the operations there.
Yes.
And you are going to meet your family. Of course, you're going to stay with them.
That's a very good thing.
Yeah. And I promise you 10% increase for this year, and it meet the targets set by CEO and me. And I'm going to give you another 10% next year.
Okay.
So, and I also want to have, let's say, in order to check the progress closely, we can have one meeting per week so that you can report the progress, right?
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Anything else you think is quite important to your interests?
Actually, I think it's definitely better for us to regular connect.
Okay.
Because I do respect that you really have some expertise in specific area, not necessarily in operation, but definitely there are a lot of things that I can learn from. But maybe in the past several months, you are very busy, you're traveling around, so I don't have solid time to sit down with you to have a deep dive discussion. Maybe we can later on find some slot, have a dinner, have a lunch together, so that I can quickly walk you through the overall, let's say, the Indonesia business, the history, and what we are encountering, and what would be the potential risk points, and recommended action plan that based on my personal observation.
Okay,
Do you think that's a good idea?
Yeah, that's a good idea. So let's keep in close touch each other, especially after I send you to Jakarta, because I want to make sure everything is kept in proper record and keep in check of the progress we want to make.
Okay.
So let's have a conversation. I also very eager to know more about Indonesia. I think you are very familiar with all the cultures and background.
When you come, maybe I can also ask my wife to take you to Jakarta, the local market, you can experience more.
I look forward to seeing all the diverse kind of things over there. Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
You too.
Yeah, you too. So, wow, this is super fast.
14 minutes.